Hey guys, Drew Brasler, DBB Audio. Today I want to dive into a little bit more of a complicated topic on the XAir, and that's actually doing parallel compression. Now, I'm wanting to specifically go into one thing that you may run into, and it would be bad if you actually implemented this, and there's one way to kind of work around it. Unfortunately, it's not what we would really want it to be, and let me explain it here. So I have on my computer here my XAir edit, and I also have Smart here running, and I am producing pink noise. This is just going to be a measurement to actually show you what's happening here in the XAir mixer when we put these two things together. So we have pink noise running into channel 1 here. Channel 1 is then going to our left-right bus, and then also it's being routed into bus 1 and bus 2. And bus 1 is going to have a compressor inserted here that we can see. So we can see that the compressor is inserted. It's not really doing any compression, but it is inserted. Now on bus 2, what I'm wanting to do is I'm going to insert a compressor in the effects rack. So we're going to go and select bus 2 here, and we're going to insert, and we can see that it is inserted there. Now, I want to show you guys what we can see on Smart. Now, Smart is a FFT program, and with this program, it can do really accurate measurements. So let's go ahead and add in a bunch of EQ here, and we'll go run over to Smart here, and we can see that we just added 10 dB of boost here. Now, I do have a little bit of averaging, so it's going to take a little bit to go there. So let's go back over here. I'm going to go ahead and turn that back off, and we will see that it is going all the way down. So what this is showing down here is the actual amplitude. Up on the top, we have our phase. Now, phase is just telling us if frequencies are arriving faster or behind the measurement versus the reference. So basically, if my measurement was arriving before or after, it would show up here as a squiggly line. If it's straight across, it's perfectly in time with each other. With parallel compression, why would you want to use it, Drew? Well, parallel compression is really good for using with drums. It really gives a really full sound. And basically what parallel compression is we are sending our group of drums independently to the left, right, and we're also sending that same group of drums to a bus. And that bus is then doing some compression on the drums and then also being sent to the left-right bus. So we can see that there's now two paths of audio that the drums are going down. And so basically we can compress the group a lot and then bring that up mildly to kind of bring in this fullness on the bottom end of the drums. But we still have the clarity without the compression going directly to the left-right bus. So what we're going to do is if I send my channel 1 here to our bus 1 and 1, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this up, we will hear it be louder in the measurement, and we can also see that on Smart. So I'm going to go ahead and turn this up, and we will see a boost. So we can now see that there is a 6 dB boost up here, and if I then go turn this back down, we will see that go away. Now that's great. Now we can also see that my compressor is inserted here, and if I was to uninsert the compressor and turn it back up here, we would still see it rise, and we would still see that all of the time is still arriving correctly with all the frequencies. Let's turn it back on, same thing. Now, say you wanted to get fancy and put a really nice effect on the whole entire group of the drums. And so I'm going to use that Ultimo compressor as an example. So we can see that we have our stereo Ultimo compressor. It's inserted, and it is turned on. We can see that it's doing some compression here. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this up. Now listen to the high end of this sound. Wow, that looks pretty terrible. So what's happening here is this is called comb filtering. Now, comb filtering happens when you have two sources of audio that arrive at different times. And we can see that time by going in here and pressing find. So there's a 0.17 millisecond delay. And what that is doing is it's taking certain frequencies and canceling them out because they are 180 degrees out of phase, and having the rest of the frequencies kind of pass through. And so it's going to independently affect each frequency. So we can see that there's a pretty big dip here at about 3K. There's another pretty big dip here at 9K, and another big dip here at about 15K. So we can see that if we go and take our drums into this bus and apply a really nice compressor on it, that time delay that's happening in this compressor itself is not being compensated for and is completely wiping out your high end. Now let's go ahead and show you a different example of this on a different effect. Let's go ahead and use a stereo enhancer, for example. And it is inserted, as you can see, and we can go in and view this, and we can see that there is still some comb filtering happening. And let's go and do another one. We'll do the stereo exciter, and we can see that there is a significant more amount of comb filtering that's happening. And we can go and find out how much is happening here, and we have 0.4 milliseconds of delay. What's going on here, Drew? Why did going through one bus work but not the other bus? Basically, the console is doing compensation for the delay. So it is delay compensating all of the channels to be arriving in time the same to the left-right bus off of the calculations off of running the EQ and the compressor on this one bus. Now, it does not calculate the time that these effects take up. So these effects have different amounts of insert delay that are applied on this bus. And so the console, unfortunately, does not calculate or compensate that. So if you are doing parallel compression, make sure that you use the channel compressor and not a fancier compressor in the effects rack. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. But we can go ahead and use the channel compressor that's built in, and it is pretty good. We have a lot of different adjustment in this, and we can get a pretty good sound out of just using the bus compressor itself. So if you have any questions, feel free to post below. Otherwise, thank you so much.